Got it. Got it.
Tonightin. I don't have a quote. I don't have a quote because this movie's so fucking heavy. We were going to do it anyway. And then our good friend Jason, who just did the Braveheart episode, click the link, boop, also suggested it. And I mean, I'm so glad we're doing it. Honestly, 2022's All Quiet on the Western Front. Originally, the German title was There's Nothing New on the Western Front, or something to that effect, like status quo on the Western Front. That wasn't at all it, but that's what it meant. But then the Western adaptation said All Quiet on the Western Front, and it became part of popular nomenclature to portray things are the same as fucking usual, all quiet on the Western Front. And this 2022 movie came from a 19 something or other book.
1930.
And at first I thought, who gives a shit? But you know what?
Did you ever read
We're
the book?
about to hear from our panel and find out exactly who does give a shit. Russell Craigie, rate it and grade it. Let's do this.
I picked the movie, right? I picked it because our good friend Jason said
Doffelmeyer picked this one.
Thank you, Jason. This
Jason
movie...
Buchenrest. Buchenkrieg.
Okay, it's not my favorite war movie of all time, but it immediately joined the circle of three, which would be
what?
Saving Private Ryan, 1917, and now this movie.
So World War I wins, is what you're saying. When it comes to your favorite war movies, World War I
suddenly
wins.
Like in the past 5 years, it just jumps up. But this
God,
is
I love
probably
learning about even older shit.
Of those three movies, this is going to be the one I watch the least. And the reason is that I don't know how it does it, but this movie is actually heavier than either of those movies. You do not get a break from feeling miserable. This movie, I feel, portrays actually living through war better than those movies did. Those movies were a little more cinematic. This movie was just kicking the shit out of this guy, Paul. There were a couple moments where he was laughing at a farm and they saw some French girls walking by, and that was like the best it got. But I would give it...
That's crazy. I didn't think of that, but that is the best it got.
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, go ahead. Wow. Jesus,
I'd give it a solid A. There's not really anything I'd change about it. It's the best dubbing I've ever seen in anything as well. For the first 5 minutes, I didn't realize I was watching a dub. And then one of the guys with the giant mustaches is giving a speech about how all the boys...
At the end, too. Yeah. At the end, it's like, oh, way dub. This is finally at the point where it's like, those don't match.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the voice actors that they got for the dubbing, the words that they chose to fill in the German words very much matched the lips and the mouth movements. It was just phenomenal job on that front. And
one of the only movies that Tom Selleck had mustache envy.
Yeah. Yes.
Bro, he was like Dr. Robotnik. The fucking Kaiser.
I actually had to look up that guy. I looked him up. He was a real war character, famous author about military strategy before joining the war. Anyway,
all he wanted was war. Anyway,
yeah, I my rating's an A. Sorry for taking up all this error, but what do you think, Joe?
All right, next. No, what do you got? Don't take a drink of wine. Give us a letter and just A. That's right. All right. You're done then.
Letter.
I said it multiple
in the
times.
Tradition of covered in film. I'm going to go last. So Joe, the bearded baritone Morgan, bring it on and tell us what your cinematic experience was on the Western Front.
I'm just frustrated that you always get to finish last. Why can't I ever finish last?
That's right. It's the host prerogative, motherfucker.
I always got to get the wad out second. whatever.
Yeah,
So
we're
just
getting the water
referring back
tonight.
to your earlier statement, technically the phrase is nothing new in the West. Was
Yeah.
was
Is that
all
what you
quiet on the
found?
Western Front. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing new
Little
in the
Google.
West.
Nothing
Yeah.
new in the West.
Right. Near
Based off a
Machinisten.
book that was published in 1928. I can't believe either one of you
Right.
haven't had to read the book. I had to read it as part of honors English class in high school.
Good for you.
Not my favorite. Well, and the English adaptation, not
No,
the original German.
The only
Right.
thing they
You
made
ever try
me
and read
The Outsiders.
Oh, well, The Outsider is a really good book and it's fun to read. You ever try reading Clockwork Orange?
Yes,
Mm.
it's horrible.
Oh God, dude, it's like it's full of nothing but fucking slang, Russian slang. Anyway,
What
go
about
ahead with your
What
reading,
about
Joe.
Lord of the Flies?
Lord of the Flies
Oh,
was
dude,
the
way
other one.
easy to
Fans?
read.
Oh,
Oh my God, you feel so bad for Piggy. I'm a fat
hated
guy,
that.
so I'm like, that's
Wait,
another thing. Hey,
I
this
have
movie
the
had a
conch
definite
shell.
moment of him hating a fat person, and I thought, how brave of you to fat shame in a 2022 movie. Good
Wait.
for you. It's right. Put
Wait,
the
I
fork
don't
down,
1928.
fatty.
Everything's available.
I don't remember.
Everything's an option.
I don't remember that scene. What are you talking about?
I don't either.
When they're in the train car and the fattest of the delegation that's surrendering is and the guy's looking at him like, you fat fucking pig.
Only Ben would interpret.
Yeah, because I'm like, hey, you're
as
making us
the
look bad,
movie-
asshole.
the movie is fat shaming him.
I was like, not a lot of movies are specifically like, fat. And this one was.
That's great.
This one was.
It's great.
And I thought, I get it.
Overall, I feel like personally I'm burnt out on the war movies. Saving Private Ryan, 1917. This one, we've done a handful of others. At a certain point, it's like, how much horrendous, absolute waste of tragic life can I watch our 60-year-old history just bleed all over ground that nobody fucking cares about today.
It's 110. I hate to tell it to you. It's almost 110 years since this has happened.
Thanks for that. Thanks.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah. No lie.
We could go back farther. This goes all the way back. I mean, Patriot. I mean, we could go a Braveheart. We just did Braveheart. I mean, we can go back. This is all of human history.
But Patriot is definitely newer. Anyway,
I'm just saying, like, all of human history, the ridiculous sacrifice of human life over land that nobody fucking cares about today.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I
haven't been to France
maybe
to check these places out, so
I bet
there
you
could be
France
somebody with a
cares.
homestead that really loves it.
A lot of this movie took place in Champagne. France probably cares.
They do. Otherwise, how do they tell everybody else it's sparkling wine? Don't call it champagne or I'll fucking shank you.
All right.
Anyway, Joe, do you have a letter to throw out?
I mean, it was a well done movie. I can't help, I kind of have to give it an A because it was just well executed. Wouldn't be something that I'd like to necessarily watch again anytime soon. Just because I'm over it. I mean, seeing a dude explode under a tank's tracks as it rolled through that was new. Hadn't seen that. That was cool.
What about the scene? Just to point out,
the dude that got blown up as he freaking ran out of the bunker, like just miraculously managed to run into the like that. Hadn't seen that. I mean, dude, how many new ways can we depict a horrible ending of human life on screen? Please show me some more. I'm loving it.
The worst one for me is where the dude says like, "No, wait, don't shoot," and he's surrendering, and they all kind of look at each other and they talk, and then they're like, just flamethrower him. And then they light him on fire, and he just slowly burns to death.
Poor kid.
See, and that was nothing to me.
That poor kid. All he wanted was a woman. That's all he wanted.
Dude,
I take
why
it
did
back.
you even stop and talk to them? Just run. Let them shoot you in the back. You know you're gonna die. Why do you got to sit there and watch it come?
Yeah,
Because
I
you
take
thought
it
you'd
back
appeal
though.
to their humanity. Dude, the moment when he's in the bunker with the fucking guy,
Whatever.
I mean, spoiler alert. All right, you're done with it, right? You said A? Come on, we got so much to talk about. We got to talk about this.
Go, Ben. Give it to me. Give it to me. What's your grade?
It's I wanted to be over it. I wanted to hate it. This movie's definitely a fucking A. The voice acting is phenomenal. The cinematography is amazing. They kept taking me to different places where I'm like, oh, they're about to do this. Oh no, they do something even more realistic to the time. The scene where the French counterattack with the tanks and the flamethrowers. Come on. This movie's a fucking A. You need to watch it. Gabe came out when I fell asleep the first time. So I went back and finished it, and Gabe had come out and was like, I've already watched it twice. I'll probably watch it again. And didn't surprise me, honestly. Joe, I hear you saying you probably won't watch it again. This movie had so much good to it. It's for sure an A. I originally
I'm over
thought
the violence. I'm just over it, man. I'm just over it. We've
dude,
seen it.
And I get that. I watched this movie. I had a panic attack about death. I mean, it happens every so often, but this movie definitely brought it on for sure. And I remember watching the first one.
I'm gonna totally just hijack things for a second and just commentary on. No, fucking wait. Opening sequence of this movie is fucking.
I mean,
genius.
All right.
What
they do in the opening sequence, I don't even remember. All I want to talk about is the shovel.
So they opened this movie on the end of this movie. Some random young dude who had no idea what the fuck he was getting into was on the battlefield, ended up dead. They cut to the scene where they stripped his body of the uniform, shipped the uniform home. They washed it.
Oh yeah, the
sent
uniform.
It back to the seamstress. She patched it, redistributed it.
All these kids are getting dead for the soldiers.
Whole fucking movie. Set the scene for the whole fucking movie. I was like, I'm done already.
Yes,
I'm done already.
Yep.
All right. So technically, that's not the end of the movie because the end of the movie,
no, it's
the war's over.
But it could have been
that uniform anymore. But
that's right.
You also got
it's got
wrong.
Somebody else's name in it. It's a mistake. Rip it out.
You got it wrong. The very beginning of this movie, the opening scene. I don't know if you guys remember it. I had to watch it again today to pick up on this. Opening scene is a fox with some baby foxes and they're nursing. It's so cute.
Oh, that's right.
It's so
that's
adorable.
Right. And then an old guy goes to visit a grave, right? And then he's like, tell me I'm a good man. Oh no, sorry. Go ahead.
That's a different movie.
Different movie.
That's a different movie. Sorry. They bleed into one.
But the fox, that's not a different movie.
The fox. Hey, if you want to watch a movie with the fox, watch Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's a laugh a minute. This movie, not so much. I thought I was getting ready for the zombie sequel. Why else would they make a movie with the same name? I already watched this before when I was a kid. And I remember the end of the movie. He stands up, looks around, gets shot, and that's the end of the movie. So I'm waiting for how they're going to change it up in this one. And that final scene is just like, I didn't see it coming. How did I not see that coming?
They really take you by surprise. It's someone behind him that you don't see that coming. Also, he's just like decimated all these dudes in melee combat up until that point, and you think he's going to be able to. And he's just looking at this guy like, just can't we stop for a moment and be people? Why do we need to kill each other?
Oh, see, that's
decision gets taken away from him,
and he was 30 seconds, just 30 seconds, and it would have been over.
You said the final scene, and it was funny because you actually talk about the final scene, and the final scene to me is the next nameless young man in the war machine is sitting.
Who finds him
injured, and the commander comes by. Are you okay, soldier? Yes, I'm okay. Start collecting.
Yeah, that's right. Just like in the beginning.
They cut to the final scene, and they do the little close up on his face, and they hold That was probably
long
my
time.
most appreciative moment for the filmmakers of this film was they held long enough for you to say, oh, he's going to open his eyes. Oh, no, he's dead. Oh, no, he's going to open his eyes. Oh, no, he's dead. Now he's got to get up. And then they cut to the scene. And it's like, yeah, no, he's
dead.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's like they
This-
string it
this
out just long
boy-
enough to fucking
Yeah.
play with your fucking
Yep.
emotions.
This boy
Well, and-
you've just spent 2.5 hours with. No, he's fucking dead. There's no changing it. There's no movie. This is, dude.
But
None
that
of his
is
friends
the-
are left there at the end.
that is how, you know, the story goes. And this one, the way I understand it, because I've never read a book in my life, is more true to the book, because the book was written from the German perspective, and then the original adaptation into the movie was written from an American perspective. And then this one takes it back to the German perspective, uses that same name of All Quiet on the Western Front, but
Nothing new on the West.
takes it back.
Right. Which you picked this movie and Downfall. Russ, why don't you go ahead and explain your preoccupation with the Nazi Russian movement?
Well, okay, so let me teach you a little bit about history, because
No.
Nazi.
Who wants to play some Battlefield after watching this motherfucker? That's what I'm talking about. I was like, oh shit, I am ready to storm
All right.
some trenches.
So literally like probably an hour ago when I was watching the movie, I did not get to watch it all again tonight, but I got more than halfway through it, and I got right up a little bit past the point where the tanks come. Those tanks, right when I see them, I'm like, oh, I want to play Battlefront. Especially as the side guns.
I don't understand though, because I played Battlefront with you. It's like, Russ, move up on the left flank. Oh, guys, I'm in a plane.
Russ, where are you?
I'm in a plane.
Russ, where
you guys
are
should
you?
spawn on where I'm at. I'm in a plane.
Dude, when I play games with other people, it's like I'm on another level from them. And I'm just
You're on another team, is what it's like. It's like
I'm
you're
so
on your own
busy.
team and
Fact.
can't be counted on.
I'm
Oh
so
my
busy
God.
doing better than everyone
Russ, I got
else.
movement on the left
Oh,
flank.
buddy,
That's your
you
guy.
should spawn where I'm at. I've already left.
Wait,
But you guys
left,
should.
left flank. I'm in a plane.
Usually
I'm in
I
a
get to this point where it's like
plane.
I can't just wait for you guys to respawn all the time. Hey, I'll go take the point by myself. You guys catch up. That's how I'm thinking.
It's not usually that way.
Speaking
Though.
of
Usually
which-
the way is
Ugh.
Ben and I are tactically moving on an objective, and you got killed randomly. Didn't say anything to anybody. Respawn said, that'll take too long. I'm in a boat, guys. I'm in a boat. Russ, there's
All
somebody
right,
on the
all
left
right.
flank.
Speaking
I'm in
on
a
a boat,
plane. I'm gonna jump out
It's
of the
all
plane.
right. Oh shit! Get your towels ready. It's about to get real. No,
I do know a few times
we're
where I've like
Battlefield still?
gotten in a plane, and then I was like, Joe, spawn on me. And he got in the plane too. He's like, where the fuck are we? And I was like, it's okay. I'm
I just
diving
jumped
at him.
out.
I already jumped out.
Just jump out.
Yeah, right.
Just jump out. It'll be great.
Oh, this fucking guy. Try playing Risk with him.
Return to spawn
all right,
zone.
non-combat scenes. Which one was your favorite? Can you nail down a non-combat scene that you thought this is really fun?
Bailing water
Or this
out of the
is really cool.
trenches.
Okay.
That right as soon as
How
they
is
get
that
to
your
the-
favorite?
it-
That
it-
seems
it-
like a
it
low
just-
point.
Honestly, it got to that point in the movie, and I was like, "Oh, this is that movie." They marched. So they were in a transport. Oh, we're supposed to get there. No, unload. I got 40 wounded soldiers that are dying in the mud here. Oh, okay, we'll do that. And then we're gonna march, and then we're gonna get there. And then, hey, you guys just got here. Like 72 hours ago, you guys were all assembled and dry and waxed and shaved and being hooped up and pumped up by your friggin' guy, and you guys were all cheering to get sent off to fucking die. And now you're hearing, hey, take your helmet off and bail water out of these 12-foot fucking deep trenches in the rain, because that makes fucking sense.
Yeah. And if you're going to ask me if this is vomit or this is feces, the answer is yes. Get going.
Yeah, no,
So
absolutely.
The answer is yes.
Let me save you some time, honey.
Ben, I've got three
yes,
scenes.
It is.
I've got 3 scenes that stand out to me the most. I'll go through them.
I only want one.
But you just stop me. You stop me when I get to the one that is the one you've picked. Otherwise, let's talk about all of them, because I think they're all
right.
Good commentary.
All right, be quick about it.
So the first one's very beginning of the movie. Like, it sets this.
Next.
Dude, no. Shut up. All the kids so excited to go off to war, and they just have no fucking idea of what they're about to get in.
When the glasses guy dies, I'm just like, oh fuck, that's the guy you knew was gonna die, and he dies.
Dude, that was right out of the gate. Right out of the gate.
Well, they all die.
We're gonna have to grow up, but guess what? You don't know how much you're gonna grow up until the fucking crazy one of you gets lit on fire from a flame. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, so yeah, spoiler, everyone dies. They're all so happy to go out there.
The description for this movie is going to be spoilers. Like, it's new enough. Yeah, we'll try and save some of it so you're surprised. But holy shit, a lot of horrific shit coming at you in this movie. Anyway, what's number 2?
So number 2 for me,
pooping,
is when the redhead comes back from when he's with the French girls, and they're all sniffing the girls' piece of clothing.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I want to know what that smells like. Like, what is it when you're in a war zone? What is the smell that, like?
Oh, it smells a little bit like it smells a little bit like the best sweat you've ever smelled, on top of whatever her hair smelled like. Yeah, like you can't. I can
probably
So that I want. No, hold on. Wait. The best sweat ever smelled.
That was a very interesting.
Think of when you're younger and you
smell.
You actually smell a female for the first time. You're like, oh, you've got a smell to you.
Well, right, but like the best sweat you've ever smelled. I mean,
when I worked at Blockbuster on West Texas.
Describe that, like,
wow, I want to hear this story.
Yes, here we go.
Yeah, let me tell you, when I worked at Blockbuster on West Texas, there was a security guard that would come around that kept a hanky. He obviously never washed that hanky, and it smelled like rot. But he used it to wipe his head. Like, this is a you get where I'm going. I don't think I need to go further.
No, you're really not making your point.
You make it
for a bunch of
honestly,
boys on the bunch of soldiers.
This smelled like the opposite of a fat security guard's handkerchief.
Oh, okay.
This smelled like a French milkmaid's
twat.
You know, it's like Braveheart. It's like what they traded in Braveheart.
I mean, it is 1917. So I mean,
my third scene,
there was no linen fresh.
No,
there's no fabric softener going in the machine. It's all out on the line.
I do always notice it's my favorite scent on a woman, actually. Not a lotion or a perfume, but when they smell like clean laundry.
Really?
Interesting.
That's your favorite scent on a woman?
Definition of clean laundry. Because honestly, I as much as I'm busting Ben's balls, my favorite smell on a woman is
don't do it, Joe.
After a workout and they've got a nice clean sweat.
Then what the hell are you talking about? You just backed up everything you said.
Oh yeah, no, I just said I was busting Ben's
3
balls.
3 days into a fuck fest is my favorite smell.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love that nice, clean, fresh. Like they showered before they went to the gym, and preferably like right at the gym. You know, to get that fresh, clean smell, and there's no perfume, there's no soap, there's no any of the bullshit to it's pure pheromones. Fuck yeah.
I got
bend you over and change your religion.
Okay, wait a minute.
When Kelly and I were first dating, I remember she got in my car for one of the first times, and I'm like, wow, I can really smell your essence, and it's intoxicating. Yeah, there's nothing better. Nothing better. My buddy Lewis used to say, man, fuck that fresh out of the shower. Give me after softball practice. And I knew exactly what he was talking about. You know what I'm talking about? Lewis, miss you, man.
A little bit of leather.
Non-drive?
A little bit of leather.
All right.
Anyways,
a little bit of
what's number 3?
The third one is the scene where before the tanks hit, but they've stormed the French trench and they take it for a brief moment, and they find the pantry and
the food.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
The food, to me, it looks delicious. It's so good in the acting that these guys did, and just like there's some salami, and I want salami so bad after watching that scene.
Yeah. When he takes a bite of the sausage and then he goes to the bread, I'm like, that sausage is turned. He would not stop eating that fucking sausage if it was not like, oh, this is a little bad, but whatever. I get wanting bread. I 100% get it. But if you're in that situation and you find a fucking salami sausage, you're just like, dude, you would pummel that fucking thing.
Also,
and then you store the rest in your keister and move about your day.
The shelving.
I brought this home.
The shelves in there, the French ate a lot better. They had some pretty. It looked like a plethora of food.
Well, the French are made out to be quite suave in this, I feel. And honestly, you didn't bring up one of my favorites, which, dude, when they're doing the negotiation on the train, and he's like, thousands more will die, and the French guy just very eloquently says, "Sign then." That was like one of my favorite non-combat moments. Was that French guy saying, "Sign then. I'm sick of your shit, German. I'm done. Sign it." Dude, I was like, how eloquent is that French guy who has this ridiculous mustache and hat, but can just tell this German, like, you wanna save people's lives? It's on you.
Sign the paper then, bitch.
That's right.
We're done, bitch. I was thinking of multiple times in this movie. It's actually something Joe said that just resonated with me when we reviewed Charlie Wilson's War, and we talked about how they left.
A big hit. Hit the button.
Yep. How the U.S. leaves and decides not to do any nation building afterwards, because who gives a shit about a school? And Joe's comment was, we learned that. We learned what happens when you just go to war someplace and it's devastated and you leave and you don't do anything to help. And that's why
this
after
movie
World
shows
War
obviously
II,
we didn't.
Well, World War I, we didn't give a shit. And
right.
As they're negotiating in that, and the German side is pleading like, hey, be nice to your enemy. Be considerate of your opponent. I was hearing Joe when he said that, and that, like, coming back around to World War II, like, yeah, that guy's words spoke true, and we realized you got a nation build Germany, otherwise they're going to do this again. And the Middle East has suffered time and time again because we have not done that.
Agreed. Yeah, we obviously didn't learn.
At a certain point, we just got to stay the fuck out and let them grow. Like, I mean,
which is exactly where we're at today.
All up in their shit.
Today, we are at we're not involved. It's no joke. We're not involved. We're not going there.
I thought it was actually a really ballsy move by the French guy to say, let's sign. Because he put it on the table of, look, you bleeding heart liberal, you want to save lives, just fucking sign, because we're on the fucking lines, we're in the trenches, we're gonna bring it. You know,
They obviously
bringing it
were.
back to your statement of my favorite scene in the movie, and it's not my favorite
Non-war
but it was one
scene.
of the scene, non-war scenes, but one of my favorite non-war scenes in the movie that really shocked me that I didn't see coming and I should have seen it coming. Was when he turned everybody around and sent them back out at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Dude, did you guys
the Kaiser?
Did you guys research that?
I didn't research that.
No, that wasn't the Kaiser.
But it
that
didn't.
was
That didn't shock me at all. That's crazy.
No,
that was
totally,
the general.
Totally shocked me. I did not see that coming.
That was General Friedenfricker, something like that.
Friedenricker Dukenbach.
I was trying to find out if that was a real thing that happened.
God, I hope not. Like
what I could find was basically that maybe the way it was portrayed in this movie didn't happen, but that was still happening. Like people were just up until 11 o'clock. They were still going at it.
I would believe that. I mean, you're talking 1917. I mean, we already did the movie 1917.
Right. Now we did the movie 1918.
Specifically illustrated the lack of communication abilities in that time, right? Like it's disconnect that in 2022 we have difficulty appreciating that.
I mean, I don't
communications
know.
back then. There was no telegram, there was no phone, there was no anything. You literally had pigeons and people and horses.
That's interesting. Like, there's no way to those boys. They thought that going out to fight would be fun. That shows the dissociation of living in town to being in the trench.
And how they're not explained what happens when people shoot at you. Like, was that just they completely admitted it? It's just
they glossed over your that. Country. You would assume that these boys got some training. I mean, you assume.
They didn't show that. That was something I thought was interesting. They didn't even show them going to like boot camp or anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, you didn't show them getting any familiarity with their weapons, anything, and
no, because they want them to be boys when they go in.
Absolutely,
that's part of the story.
Ideology, right? Like the ideology was king. Yeah, they did a tremendous job capturing that scene of, go out and die for your country, and all these boys so happy, cheering, laughing with each other, going to the medical checks. Oh, I'm clear. Oh, I got my uniform. Let me get uniformed up. And I mean, we're way too cynical in 2022. Like, fuck you, motherfucker. I ain't going nowhere.
Cut out the scene too where the guy bragged about the nurse fondling his balls.
Get me with my 94 rifles and 18 handguns and friggin' 3 years worth of ammo in my fucking house. Come get me, bitch.
Okay. Wait.
You don't have that much ammo. Come on.
I don't even own a gun.
You don't. All right. We've been
Wait a minute. I got at least 3 days worth of ammo, but
I'm giving you 30 seconds.
To emphasize the difference that Joe's talking about, my buddy lives in Ukraine right now, and he lives in Lviv. I don't know if you guys are aware, but they just got hit. It was like the last big city in Ukraine that has been kind of like a safe haven. But they just got hit, and he was sending me these videos of like a plane hitting the power plant there, and he's talking to me then. He literally is like, he goes to the hotel in the morning to charge his phone because the hotel has generators. And then he goes back to his place and boils water to keep himself warm and shit like that. But I'm able to talk to him, and I'm in America, and he's in Ukraine, the other side of the world, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
And it is way different today. Everyone has access to a phone.
Can you get him on the phone? It'd be really, really great for the show if we did an interview with him right now.
I could.
Just saying. No, don't really do it. That's way too real. We're fucking three chuckle fucks doing this shit. Hey, let's talk about the fucking score.
There's a MacGuffin.
That's right. There's
and
a MacGuffin.
this guy Paul, he's chasing the MacGuffin, and the French are keeping it away from him.
The score for this movie, the fucking pounding synth that just comes in. I'm reminded of the scene when the officer and the negotiator are in the car. There's no dialogue that entire scene. There's just this pummeling you as these guys don't talk in this car and just drive. And I'm like, that was really smart to include that.
No, they did an excellent job with that sound effect. One, it was completely unique and something I hadn't heard before, especially not associated with the historical war movie. Like typically a sound effect like that would have been something more associated with like a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah. So, Christopher Nolan fucking, definitely loves to get it quiet and then bring it up. Yeah.
Versus
and sci-fi movies.
This movie was
one of the questions
I loved it.
One of the questions I wanted to ask, obviously this movie is more plausible than Inception, but did you like the ominous tone more in this movie or in Inception?
I'm so glad that out of this entire episode, that was the moment you chose to lag because it's perfect.
Did I lag there?
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Inception, just Inception, you.
Yeah. Fuck your Inception.
Anyway, did you like this movie the most?
Moving on.
I found myself getting physically tense in the battle scene. It was so well shot. When he's going through when they're fighting through the trenches, I found myself like, fuck, this is great cinematography. Dude, it's as good as The Revenant, which I found to be the best when you're following the people around during the raid in the beginning. Phenomenal camera work and just kept me really on it. And then I gotta say, during the big battle, I was reminded of There Will Be Blood with, they got past the birdie dirt and went into an actual, like, almost like a ticking sound through the whole fight that really brought up the tension. I was like, oh, this is like where There Will Be Blood brings in this amazing tension. Yeah.
Do you have tuberculosis? What's going on?
I do. Dirty Lunger.
I actually feel like this movie in 1917 are opposite sides of the same coin.
1917 is like Frodo walking to Mordor. It's fucking like, we're just going to have a stroll and shit happens. This movie's like, eat it, motherfucker.
Well, no, I mean, it's the differential in all of the different ways that this war played out, right? I mean, so in 1917, there are a couple of messengers that are sent out, and the people who are meant to receive the message don't even know they're coming.
Right.
Like, I mean, we in 2022 have such a disassociation for what that whole environment looked like, right? Like, I mean, you sent a letter. Who knows? I mean, fuck, it took 3 months for a letter to get home and 3 months to get back. Like, letters this kid wrote home to his family from the trenches got there after he was dead. Potentially. Yep. I mean,
allegedly,
when they're in the office and they're reading off the dog tags to make the casualty report for the guy who has to take it to the meeting with the generals, that guy wrote a name on every line. I'd imagine 3 columns, probably both sides of the paper, because it's 1917. Nobody wasted paper in 1917. So what is it? What, there's 52 lines. Let's just call it 30 lines on a lined paper.
30 lines. Yep, I googled it.
3 columns, 90. 2 sides, 180.
What are you doing?
And he's freaking rolling to this appointment with a file that's that fucking thick. He like literally, the guy that's waiting to go to the meeting literally tells him that's enough.
We got to move on from this. I don't know what you did, but the last 30
ridiculous
seconds,
amount of casualties. Just I mean, I'm just telling you how much time it took to just catalog the casualties. It's a reoccurring theme in the movie. Go start collecting. Here's a special bag to go collect dog tags in.
Right. Yep. You're
Oh,
right.
yeah.
That definitely does happen. Also, what happens is a question I want to pose to Russ. Which had the more brutal fork to the neck, this or 310 to Yuma?
Dude, this.
Wow, this one easily.
This.
Yeah, this one for sure. I mean, there's
Yeah,
no
I mean-
fucking question.
Dude.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, you caught
They-
in
they
that fucking
actually get
crater
to-
with the guy that you stabbed to death, and then you go and try and save him after the fucking fact. I mean, dude, the psychological warfare that
Well,
guy
no,
waged
that-
on himself.
That's not the same scene, but that scene was maybe the hardest.
You're talking about
because he goes
Private
back and
Ryan.
forth.
I didn't even bring up Saving Private Ryan.
No,
Get in
no,
the game.
no. Joe's talking about this movie where he stabs that dude in the chest and then he goes
Yeah.
away.
Oh,
Yeah,
pushes the mud in his mouth.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I feel like we're giving away all these horrific parts, but guess what? We're not. We
Spoilers.
brought up a bunch of them. Yeah, spoilers heavy.
But the
show.
fork and the neck scene in this one, like what made that scene so unique is I feel he's bleeding out. He's already done the deed. They ask him why. He actually
over for me.
responds. He
Yeah, it's over
actually
for me.
can still talk, even though his lungs and his vocal cords are filling with blood.
There's no way.
And he
That was a
tells
movie.
them why. He's like, "This is done. Don't put your hand over my neck. Don't call the surgeon. Just let me die. I stabbed myself in the neck with a fucking fork over and over because it's that bad."
See, and what I felt made that scene unique is the guy who picked up their fucking stew and ate it while they tried to save their friend who just stabbed himself in the neck with a fucking fork. This movie gives you trauma. This movie is trauma.
Thank you, Russ.
It gives
Thank you, Russ.
trauma,
We
and it's
appreciate
a
it.
lot about trauma.
Yeah.
Can you
Watch it.
imagine these people going back home and trying to live a normal life? They've got a
You
phenomenal
can't because
scene
they all died.
where the older guy talks about it. He's like, I'm going to have to go back, and people are always going to want to hear about what it was like. And what will I tell them?
Yeah,
What
and
can
we-
I tell them?
And we wonder why all of these generations of men in America couldn't tell their children
Yeah.
they love them.
Exactly. Exactly. You think of this in World War II, like trauma for fucking 100 years, and it just shows you where the ideology of being a tough male has grown from. And it's
Oh, I mean, there's a specific scene in the
Ugh.
movie. He says where you can't. The one guy's starting to have a breakdown, and he says you can't do that. You have to be strong for
That's
all
right.
of us who don't
that's
make
right. Yeah.
not even just being a tough male. The women in that beginning of the story where they show. Could you imagine just sewing
Fox, you're talking
holes?
about the Fox again?
it. No,
No.
we're talking about the very beginning. You get a fucking uniform
Yeah,
that you
Could you
know
imagine
somebody
just-
wore
Yeah.
and died in.
Yeah. And your job
for
is to
8
sew up the
hours-
wound holes.
Yeah,
for 8 hours a day, making death pretend like it didn't happen, so that
Making death
someone else
disappear.
can wear this thing.
making death disappear. Oh, I'm sorry. This uniform, somebody else's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
No,
and
don't worry about it. It
finding
happens
the
all the time.
holes, that would just drive you insane. Like your shit's cars,
That's
my
your
shit's
job,
wine.
right?
Like
That's your job.
if
finding
your
the
job is
holes
to
in
hide
uniforms.
bullet holes. How many bullet holes can you hide before your 8-hour shift is over? Come on, lady, you got to
Yeah.
do more. Like what the hell?
17
Dude, to
million
be the-
people.
and to be the soldier that friggin' puts it on. And it's like, oh, hey,
Got to ask you guys.
what
just 'cause
happened there?
We've kind of
All
talked
right.
about it
It's a
a
nifty
little
little
bit.
pen holder.
Yeah.
Where does this movie rank for you? I mean, I said it was in my top 3. Is it up there with those with you?
I got it. I mean, I'll tell you what, I will very likely watch this movie again, and it'll be the last time I try and watch this movie. I feel it deserves another sit through in one go. It's 2.5 hours, but the the storytelling in it is just, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's on another level. After I like I said, I wanted to just watch it like it was another fucking 2.5 hour movie. But I found myself in the middle of it being like, they are really portraying this in such a real way that I am fully immersed. Just 100%. I am with these characters, and yeah, it was phenomenal. Is it in my top three? I don't know, man. Does Edge of Tomorrow count?
No.
Only if you're crushing beer and drinking pussy.
Did you say crushing beer and drinking pussy?
Yeah.
Because that would be so great.
That was
Drink
what I
that
said.
pussy.
No, I did say that, crushing beer and drinking pussy. I honestly, I'm benumbed by the war movies at this point. I watched it. It was the thing. I don't know that I appreciated it as much as you two did. I think
Apparently not, but you still gave it an A.
It was well executed, but I still think personally
We have a
for
job
me,
to do here. We got to put things aside.
1917 was probably for me a better depiction of the struggles of what World War One was. This movie was incredibly
Really?
tragic.
No,
No, dude, trench
incredibly
warfare.
tragic.
Like it doesn't. You.
I agree. I agree with all of those things, but you know what? I don't need to see that shit.
So
I
for
don't
me-
need to see it. I don't need to. It's like watching the fucking news. I don't need to expose myself to the freaking absolute
get it.
ridiculous tragedy that was that.
I get it.
I don't need that in my life.
dude,
I do.
I get it too, but I would say that
men.
it to quote you though, like this movie's a better depiction of what World War One was. Like this movie felt more real, and that's why you don't like it. It's too much. It's too.
That was jarring. It was like I got to experience it.
I mean, I got to
1917?
see some dude freaking
a very
explode under
sterile-
fucking tank tracks. That's fantastic. That's in my mind now.
1917 at least had a MacGuffin. It's at least I've never.
I mean,
let my word go
1917.
in,
I got
but-
to see some guy friggin' die
You're just enamored with the word MacGuffin at this point.
horribly. I mean, all of these movies, dude. Friggin', honestly, probably since Saving Private Ryan, I've been done with friggin' war movies. Like we keep.
I'm so sick of seeing Wade die. God damn it.
Russ keeps bringing them. I'll keep watching them because I'm on the Covered in Film crew.
I'll surprise you next time because war movies, I love them. I really they do something for me. I like.
Let me
them
guess.
more than-
Next one's Kingdom.
Next one's Bridge over River Kwai.
Yeah.
Kingdom isn't that. Kingdom's like Lord of the Rings, only a little heavy.
No, it's not. Kingdom's like Liam Neeson's movie. Kingdom's great. Good job, Peter Berg, with the Kingdom. Did it.
Dude.
All right. We have gone on, I think, so much that people may be worked up. We may be causing riots at this point with this show. So I feel like we should wrap it up, B.
Subscribe.
We're just
Like
rambling.
and subscribe.
Ring
Yeah,
the bell
this movie
for
is fucking phenomenal.
ring the bell to find out the next time we review an absolutely ridiculously violent portrayal.
A movie
of
where
World
we
War I
completely
movie.
went off. Yeah, no structure to this
Didn't
show.
even
I
get
wasn't
the
going
wad
to do
out.
No, why? We don't know any of these people's names.
Right, there's no reason to.
No reason. This movie was a tour de force. Wait. I mean,
Jason, if you made it this far, you gotta leave a comment saying you made it this far.
Good job. Next bat time, same bat.